We found parts of the bodies all over the house, in places you wouldn't think. The funny thing is the heads have never been found. Hands and feet and things like that, but no heads.
So we are Bloodmoon Paranormal. When we started, our name was originally Fear Reality. So that was all the way back in 2013 when I formed the group. I formed the group when I had an experience when I was like 8 years old, so 2008, and that experience kind of like I was scared, man. I was scared. I couldn't explain it. It was just one of those things that I was just like, all right, I'm 8 years old. I don't really want to deal with this right now.
Yeah.
Come a couple years later, I'm 12 years old, and I watched my first ghost show. I'm watching Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
Classic. Everyone watches it at some point, right? And I'm like, I want to do this. I want to experience this. At this point, and I know this will probably tweak a couple people out. I don't believe in God. At 12 years old, surprisingly, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to experience something like this. I want to go see if this stuff is real. So I tell my mom this, I tell my friend this. His sister overhears us talking about it, and she's like, hey, there's this abandoned hospital down in Peoria, Illinois. It's 2 hours from us. She's like, just sneak in through the pool area and you get in there and you can, it's apparently really haunted. So we're like, okay. So my mom, I tell her about it. She drives us down there. Coolest mom ever. She drives us down to this asylum, and we get there and it's lit up in purple lights, just all purple lights. And we're like, all right, that's weird. It's not abandoned unless there's like a rave happening or something, right? So we walk up and this guy comes out, and I tell this part of the story every single time because like it sticks in my head. It's always in my head. Guy comes out and he goes, y'all here for the ghost tour? And that is the beginning of my journey into the paranormal.
That's
a year later,
wild.
I start my we had some experiences that night, but a year later I start my first paranormal group in 2013 with some friends of mine from school. Yeah, Fear Reality, and then in 2015 we rebranded to Bloodmoon Paranormal.
Sweet. So, was that a big step for you to actually take a step into the paranormal investigation world?
So at first it was kind of like it was gradual for sure, like because obviously this stuff it costs money.
Yes.
And being 12, 13, 14, even 15 years old, that's something I was lacking, So like a lot of the stuff that I was doing was like going to cemeteries or going to like, places that are free in a way, like parks or stuff like that, and kind of more just research wise. So that's kind of how it was at first. And then there was the occasional, like, okay, we'd finally get our allowance monies together from doing chores, and we'd go combine that money together and we'd go to somewhere. So it was like,
that's what I should have done when I was a kid. Fuck. All right. So you started off pretty young, just wanting to just start. It's like my show was Ghost Hunters, Taps. Love that show. And then Ghost Adventures. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It was everything that I wanted. But to be honest, like when it comes to the paranormal, or what I think is the paranormal, I'm the biggest pussy in the world. And I try my best to keep my composure as much as I can, but it doesn't happen. But I enjoy it. That's just crazy. So were you ever afraid of the paranormal at all at first?
I think at first we all are, or maybe like at first I didn't believe in it, because like I said at the beginning, I at that point I wasn't a believer in God. I still am not a believer in God, but I do believe in like spirits now, if that makes sense. So at first it didn't scare me until I had my first experience, and I'm like, what the hell is this? In the moments that something happens, like I don't know if you saw our Velisca episode, but I'm in this house by myself and the back door just swings open, and I like I can't explain to you how terrifying that was in the moment.
Did your
Like,
did your skin hurt? Because usually, like, if you get really scared, you're just like, you just tense, or do you just book it?
I mean, I didn't run. I froze for a moment. And I'm like, the back door just opened.
Oh gosh.
And I like repeated myself like maybe 5 different times. And then I picked up the camera. For some reason, I did a little spin. I was just like, I didn't know what to do. So I like spun around with the camera. And then I'm like, I pointed it at it, zoomed in on the door. And I'm just like, I was shaking. And like, yeah, that episode, like that investigation alone was just, there's a lot of F-bombs dropped.
It was a good one.
But like, you know,
It was good.
it was terrifying.
Now, was
so-
that your first encounter that you got or seen?
No, this was recent. This was pretty recent. Yeah, I've been, like I said, I've been doing this since 2012. So
Oh shoot,
yeah.
man. So how do you guys just go into a place and just start recording? Is it mainly just like you ask to go in, or do you just start filming? Like how do you go upon doing that?
So like I'm a type of person that likes to book way ahead.
Sweet.
So we find places that offer this stuff. I used to do kind of like an urbex thing. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like getting like arrested.
That's a whole lot of work
Yeah.
for
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to get, arrested or fined or anything like that. So
Get your SD cards taken away.
yeah, they'll
like-
take SD cards, the police will. So like I find places that offer paranormal investigations. I figure out their prices. I figure out if it's worth it, how far they are, stuff like that, history and all that. And we book it. And then what happens is when we get to that point, we make our travel however long, we check into our hotel first, and then we go to the location. First things we usually do are interviews with the owner or tour guide, talking about the history and their experiences there. B-roll, so any like extra footage or like drone footage.
Mhm.
She's our head photographer,
Cool.
along with another person named Carly. They are our photographers of the group and co-leads, and they take the photos. I do video stuff, and then from there, usually we'll get like dinner. So like we'll order like a pizza to the place, and let me tell you, it's the best ordering a pizza to an asylum
Oh
or like
gosh.
a jail or something.
No,
like
I
that.
can
Like,
only
like,
imagine.
it's so funny.
It's
like,
so
the
welcoming.
Yeah.
It's funny for the people that'll just be like, all right, yeah, we know where you are. Like, we'll come and bring it to you, no problem. And then there's the people that are like, we don't deliver to this address.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
When it's like 5 minutes down the road, they're like, no, or they refuse to go up to the building. They meet you right at the edge of the driveway.
Yeah, and then after that is usually when we start our investigations, which sometimes includes isolations,
Okay.
which is like solo investigations that we do.
That's wild. So like I think I'm a skeptic for the most part, but I think I seen things when I was like really young, and they really screwed me up. But I don't know. As an adult, I haven't really seen much that I think I've seen. So like I want to believe more, and I want to see more. So like we wanted to just try our best to talk to anybody and everybody, and plus hear the stories. Their stories are so fun. I just can't. I couldn't do that alone. So have you guys spent a night by yourselves, like individually, before?
We've not done that, no. I
I
Like,
would love to do that.
I would do it. My problem is I like to have a comfortable bed and I like to have a nice shower in the morning. So
Just one
That's-
night, 24 hours,
I
just
know.
you and a camera.
we're gonna do it eventually.
That'd
It's
be
just
cool as hell.
yeah, I know. We're gonna do it eventually. I
Sign me up.
I know she's 400%. She's the one that keeps suggesting it, but I need a nice bed to sleep in and a nice shower in the morning. So
Hey, that's understandable. Andrew, do you have any questions for him?
So 10 years you've been doing investigating. You guys haven't done like a 24-hour investigation? You guys
I
split
mean,
them up?
like
Like between
we've
days?
we've slept in locations before. Like, her and I are dating, just to give you like why the hell is he sleeping next to, yeah, investigator.
Yeah.
So we've been together for 3 years.
Sweet.
We've like slept in locations before. Like there's a hotel we investigated, and then there was like it was like a bed and breakfast almost. So like we've slept in locations, just not like all of us were separate or like,
While investigating, in a sense, like
yeah.
Okay. How many's in your team?
We have 9 total, I believe. Everyone, the way we do it is like I'll set up an investigation, and it'll be like first come first serve. So like, here's the date, here's the price, whoever can sign up for it can sign up for it. There's usually open spots, and I have like a limit on like how many people can go on that one. So like if it's like, a decent size like hospital building, it would be like 6 people max. That's how many can sign up for it. So
That's pretty cool. When it comes to doing investigations, have you ever had any like evil entities that you've ever encountered or experienced before, or heard things? Just some stuff where you're just like, I'm truly not fucking with that. 100%.
so for me personally, I guess the only evil entity that I would say is an evil entity is probably whatever is at Velisca. I'm not a believer in demons, so it's hard for me to say if anything is a demon.
Okay.
Just the Velisca thing. I didn't believe in attachments before Velisca. And then something like attached itself
you
to me.
believe in them until you got one.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
So that's why I think it's like more than just a person.
Mhm.
I
But
get you.
it's hard to say. We never know.
It's also like, is it evil or is it just angry you're there?
Yeah, that's
just
I mean,
trying to
that's
scare
a
you
good
away.
yeah, that's a good way to put it. I don't know. I'm like with you, man, when it comes to believing a lot of stuff. When it comes to that, that's why I just say nope. I don't ask questions. I just turn around and I politely leave if I can.
Yeah.
Oh God, you guys are crazy, but I love it. What honestly inspired you to do this? And you said it was the TV shows, but do you have like a personal investigator that just got you going?
I I don't even know if I would say like Ghost Adventures inspired me. It just more caught my interest in the paranormal because it's like I want to understand what this is like. Like, is this shit even real? That was more my thought process behind that. And I don't know, Zach Bagans is a tool in my opinion. So it's
Thank
like
you.
it's hard for me to say.
He
Thank
says,
you.
thank you.
Like look,
Thank you.
Ghost Adventures, I love like the cinematography, I love the editing.
Yes.
Everything else is shit.
Yes.
Good location choices.
The location choices are,
I just don't like the way he
Good.
talks. It scares me.
not a huge fan of him.
You're 40 years old and you have a mohawk. Good luck to him though. I mean, he's done something.
Yeah.
But anyways, have you ever went to like I want to say a case or anything, but have you ever went to a location where you debunked a case, or like somebody said something before, like, hey, in this hallway there's always tap tap tap, and everybody's been saying it was a ghost, but have you guys ever been like, that's not what it is, it's water or steam?
I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything, but I'm sure we have without realizing it.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Not like comparing like, oh, this group has been here before, like, and we're getting this, but it's debunked. We've had it to where like we constantly debunk on our own terms, like when we're all there investigating, or like group, like if we have like a collab or something, we've like group debunked something, but
Okay. Nothing
that,
like major, like a case or anything.
like Zach said, like that we know of that we were purposefully doing, we could have.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like we like to know like the basic claims usually when we go in places, but we don't like to know like specific like, oh, there's knocks in this hallway or there's like EVPs in this room.
You see
know?
this here, you see
Right.
that there.
We usually
Yeah.
just like to know like the basic stuff. Just like this place is known for this, and this, and then
Yeah.
capture on.
ball it out.
Yeah.
Man. Now, how do you guys feel about? I see a Ouija board in the background. So that's
I like the aesthetic.
Yeah, it's great. I like that too. You guys fucked around with it before, haven't you?
Yeah.
What? What happens?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Thank you. Thank you. This guy right next to me is like, man, dude, don't be fucking with that shit. I'm like, no. I will fuck with it, and I'm gonna
Not
buy
a
a
skeptic though.
yeah, but I'm gonna buy the best one made out of like great wood and just. Are you with me? Beep-boop, bop. No.
Yeah. See, I've always been skeptical about them. Again, love the aesthetic. Like I have a whole like design for merch that's based around a Ouija board. So like I love the aesthetic, but like I've never had an experience with a Ouija board that I'm like, wait, how like
Yeah.
how does that happen? So
And I haven't even gotten anything, and I feel like I'd be the person to get the most because I do the whole like witchcraft stuff and
Okay.
like
Sweet.
and we tried it at a location and it was me and our other investigator Carly, and like people are like, you gotta try harder, you gotta really focus in, and I'm like, I'm
yeah, 'cause
focusing,
we
man.
we were doing a TikTok live for that, and like we had people bitching at us like saying like, you're not focusing hard enough, you're not trying hard enough, and then like one person was like, well, it's got to be just her, and then they're arguing with each other in the comments, and I'm like you guys like have no clue like,
how this works.
and apparently we don't either because we're not getting anything, but like
We tried it every way it was suggested just to like make sure we covered all the bases. Tried it by myself, tried it like Zach tried it by himself. We tried it like facing each other. We tried it side by side. We did one finger. We did like all like as many fingers as you
Yeah.
can. Like it did not.
it ain't it.
It ain't it. And I was very disappointed because I thought I was gonna be some like magical witchcraft power, and it did not happen.
And look,
It didn't
I
happen.
feel like if spirits can push things or knock things over or throw things, which I've experienced possibly, there's other ways that things could be explained when things move.
Yeah.
I guess they could push a planchette on a Ouija board, but I don't think that they have enough power to spell out an entire word.
While needing your hands on it.
Right.
Yeah, I don't get that. Now, if it was moving by itself, then we got something.
That'd be different.
I
Yeah.
shit my pants. That's
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
start to cry.
So, have you guys ever heard, Andrew? What's that demon's name that you were talking about?
Zozo.
Zozo.
Yeah.
So
I've heard of it.
that's
Yeah, they watched Ghost Adventures, dude.
sorry.
I was gonna say it's a Ghost Adventures. That's how I know of Zozo, is that one episode.
We were reading about that last night, and we were just sitting down there, and just like, man, I just don't know. Give me the board, and like I'll do a little salt circle and light the candles and go to town. I mean, I'll try something out. When it comes to with the team, do you guys have any specific labels for your guys' team members?
Yes. So I'm the lead investigator. She's the co-lead and head photographer.
Okay.
Carly is the co-lead and photographer. We have Grace. She's our field researcher, so she does all things research for us. Angie is our EVP specialist. Jason is our audio tech. Sam is our medic. He's an EMT, so I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, there it is.
Hey, you never know.
No, you
might need him
really
for
don't.
something like that, So, and then we have Jarrett is one of our cameramen, and Scott and Jake are just investigators right now. So I'm trying to get a title for them, but haven't found their niche yet.
I've noticed so far. So we did an interview with a lady that their team's called Ghost Sisters. You ever heard of them?
I have, actually.
So like they do their stuff so far what I'm getting from you guys go in. And then like the Ghost Sisters, they're more of like the crystals, mediums and stuff when it comes to that. And it's like with what you guys are doing, you guys are trying to find some hard evidence.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're very science based. I like to say, and I don't like to disrespect other religions. I myself am closer to an atheist than anything else. She's a Wiccan, so she,
I'm on the
believes.
whole
Yeah,
opposite ass
she believes.
spectrum.
Sorry, my cat's like making noises.
No,
in
it's
the
okay.
She, believes in gods and stuff like that.
Crystals.
Yeah.
And...
Yeah.
We have like Christians in our group and stuff like that. So it's like I don't disrespect against the religions and stuff
It's
like
just
that.
what you
but
believe in.
yeah, but they also are with the science stuff. Like they want answers too,
Yeah.
in a scientific aspect.
Yeah. So
I can agree with you with that 100% because I know he's a big skeptic. Like when I'm not even gonna ask that question. I am gonna ask that question. What do you guys believe about aliens?
Oh hell yeah.
I believe they're real.
Thank you. Look at this dude. Look at him. He's like, oh man, they're so real. You got to be fucking kidding me, man.
So you would believe in aliens before you believe in demons?
Correct.
Yes. Look at him.
No, we breaking them.
Oh, it's fun.
All
I like getting them going. All right, Andrew, ask the next question.
What would you guys consider your most memorable investigation to date?
You go first.
Oh, this is so hard. This is so hard. I don't have one specific one, but it's two separate occurrences at the same location from
boy.
2 different times. One of them, it's Indiana State Sanatorium, poppin' location. The first time Zach and I were ever there, we got invited out, and it was him and I. We went to the 5th floor, which was the criminally insane, the worst of the worst. Yeah. We didn't get much, so we go down to the 2nd floor, which was men's ward, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's men's ward. And I was like, come on, guys, like, let's go downstairs, like, come on. Door shuts behind us. It's in the shape of an eye. I look to my left. Zach keeps walking, and I hear, get your stuff out. I don't remember hearing it until the footage got reviewed, and I said it.
It was like a whisper that she heard to the left. So it was like something whispering to her, get your stuff out.
Yeah, did you get your stuff
And
out?
You caught that?
No. we kept walking, and 30 seconds later, right behind me, not even a foot, and it's tile floor, it's broken up. Boom, 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 like coming right up from behind me. That is, I got scared. I got very scared.
Oh,
that was the first time I cried, honestly,
So
at an investigation.
Is that your most memorable one?
Mine?
Yes.
No. Like I had brought up, like the Velisca ex-murder house. When we were in the when I was in the house by myself, the back door swung open. I literally watched it, like, and you could hear it in the audio, like it unlatches and then swings open, and like,
fuck
that messed me up, man. Like that was during an isolation. So I was by myself in that house. They were all out in the barn, which is like, I don't know, maybe
20 feet away.
Yeah.
10, 20 feet
and
away.
I was in there by myself, and like we try to do isolations everywhere we go. Sometimes we don't get to. And like ever since then, like trying to do an isolation has been hard for me because I'm like terrified for some reason that a door is gonna open. Like, I don't know why. Like,
oh boy. Now, have
terrifying.
you guys ever seen like full apparitions before?
I have not, no.
There's a couple things that I've seen that I can't explain, but I don't want to claim them as paranormal.
Okay.
It could be pareidolia.
What's that?
Pareidolia is when you're looking at something and you see faces or you see things form out of those shapes.
Okay, I got you.
It could be auditorial too. So like you can like, there's an EVP that's floating around where somebody asks, is the devil here? And everyone hears a demon here or the devil here because he asks about a devil or a demon, where the actual answer that comes through is not anything to do with a devil or a demon.
Yeah.
It's just that like you're assuming.
Yeah.
So there's been a time where a couple of times where I think I've seen like a shadow figure,
Yeah.
but I've never seen like a full body apparition.
That's when it gets too real for me.
Yeah.
See,
That'll
that's
get way too real.
see,
way
that's
too-
that's what I want. I don't know what's going on in my brain, but like I really want to see something that completely blows my mind.
I get
And,
it.
Like so, and I bet everybody's looking for it. Everybody is. You know, the one thing that really got me intrigued was I lived at a house a long time ago and I saw the most craziest thing. It was weird as hell. I live in like this 200-year-old house and I was walking up the step. Well, I was sleeping in my room. It's like 3 a.m. and I heard someone walk up the steps and it was really, really slow. Old wooden stairs. And the way my hallway was, there was this yellow dim light my mom had. And I'm sitting there listening and I'm like, I know my mom's not up. All right. And then it just got louder and louder and it stopped at the edge of the steps. And I'm like, huh. And this is like when like the Grudge movie was coming out. So this is where I'm like, maybe this is all in my head. So I'm sitting there. I'm terrified because of the Grudge. I'm like, man, she's going to get me. So I stopped in a second. Well, all of a sudden, it literally looked like somebody took a step into my room. And that's all I saw was like a white, pale leg. Took a step straight in my room. And I heard the foot hit the ground. And I immediately got so scared. And I threw my blanket over my face. And ever since then, I was like, what the hell was I seeing? So I kept that in my brain for the longest time. And then like some other stuff happened to me. But then I'm just like, I'm going to bottle it up and shove it deep inside my stomach and forget about this as much as I can. But now with the... What are you looking at here, Drew?
Up, dude.
Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm loving every moment of this. Has anybody ever been injured at an investigation with you guys? Oh yeah.
What was it? Raw? No, Randolph. Or no, was it
It
Stone?
was Stimson.
Stimson.
What happened?
I'm a ding dong and my foot didn't land properly on the stairs and I slid down like 6 carpeted stairs.
I was like all the way at the top and I was like filming something. I don't know what I was doing. And like she was walking down the stairs with like
2 cameras or something in my
yeah, she was walking down the stairs with 2 or 3 other people. And like I'm all the way at the top and all of a sudden I hear I look down and she is on the ground like
laid out with 2 pieces of equipment in my hand. I'm like, I'm okay.
Did you guys at least capture that?
you capture the noise of it happening and then me like looking over the ledge like with the camera and that's about it. Well, no, wait. Was Ben filming?
See like this much of my head take a step and then I just disappeared. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm saying. I was fine, so it wasn't like I got injured,
Yeah.
but that was like the most I think intense thing that we've experienced.
No,
Besides like
yeah, I
us,
think-
like
Was
I
that
don't
like during the dark, the nighttime?
Yeah, it was dark out. So
I didn't
fuck
have my hand on the
It
railing.
was
I was
dark out.
looking up. I wasn't looking where I was going. And it was all my fault. That whole place was safe. It was just I was being stupid
Yeah.
and not taking regards for my own safety.
It happens.
Oh,
I mean,
boy.
besides that, I don't think anything else. I mean,
No.
we're pretty safe.
That's good.
Got some
Um,
mosquito bites here and there. That's
yeah.
about it. That's the only worst thing we've gotten.
What are the type of instruments and equipment that you use during your investigations, and what are the most reliable ones that you go for?
So I would say the most reliable that I like to go off of, and simply because this is just kind of like what I started with, and I think it's the key, is just a basic EMF meter, so like a K2 meter. Ghosts are said to emit electromagnetic forces, which is what this picks up. And especially when you're in an abandoned place with no power, there's no reason why any of that would be coming through. It can be set off by your phones. But if your phones are on airplane mode,
Yeah.
there's no reason, right? And then the SB7 Spirit Box is something that I heavily rely on as well.
What's that?
It's a device that cycles through radio waves, and ghosts are said to be able to talk through the white noise of the radio waves. People also say that they can select words to come through that are coming through the radio stations to complete a full sentence.
Is that like a spirit box?
That's a spirit box,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Man, so have you guys ever captured anything off a spirit box?
Yes.
So much.
A lot, actually.
Really? Now, how do you know when it is an answer?
So it is kind of hard. I try to pay attention to the way things are being said, and you can kind of differentiate, if I could say that word correctly, what is could be like a song, or what could be like a radio announcer or a radio host. You can kind of like pull that apart from it.
Yeah.
It takes some time to get used to that. Again, I've been
Yeah.
using it for like 10 years. So it's like I kind of like have that ear for pulling that apart. But there's also something else we like to do with it. You ever hear of the Estes method?
I haven't. He has.
Okay. So the Estes method is essentially where you take a spirit box, you plug it into headphones, noise canceling specifically. One person wears the headphones, and they're the only person that could hear the spirit box. Unless you have loud enough headphones, then you could hear it outside of that
Yeah.
as well. The other people in the room are asking questions. Now, because those headphones are noise canceling, the person cannot hear those questions.
Oh.
So whenever they hear a response, they say it out loud. And if those responses line up to the question,
It's got to be something.
yeah.
100%.
So it takes the assumption out. Like I was saying earlier with the EVP, like because somebody asked about the devil, you assume that it's responding about the devil.
Yeah.
Right. So it takes that assumption out. So like if I asked, and like the spirit box was open, no headphones, if I asked, what's your favorite color? And it comes through with something, I'm gonna assume that it's saying a color.
Yeah.
You know, but if I ask with the headphones in, somebody has the headphones on, I ask the question,
The
what's your favorite
assumptions are
color?
real.
And they say red, then it's responding to us.
Oh,
You know.
have you ever had that?
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
It's crazy.
No.
Crazy.
Yeah. That's why I love doing that method over just having open. But either way, the spirit box is like a must for us. So
when is it time to get out? When is
What
it
do you
time? When is it time to leave? It's like
we
okay,
usually-
not like time like when the investigation's done, but when
Okay.
you're doing the investigation, when is it just like yeah, it's time to go? What's your limit?
When it's time to leave, our scheduled
Yeah,
time is
we-
up.
There
like
you go.
there's times where like I'll be like, all right, like I need to like take a break and like just take a breather. Things get a little too real sometimes. Even though it's all,
It is all real.
it's real, it's real life, it's really
actually
happening, but like
real.
it kind of like the reality of things kind of set in. So occasionally I'll take like a quick like 10-15 minute break,
Get some
Yeah.
water, some snack.
and then I go right back into it.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah.
we don't leave until our night is over.
Yeah.
Now there is these. I heard this story one time of I don't know how to explain it, but someone was walking up the stairs and all of a sudden they had just like everything changed. The room was just different. It was the same room, but it was more alive when it comes to being whatever. There's like a different things, it's different objects in the rooms, but it's still that room. Have you guys ever experienced anything like that before?
Almost like it brings you back to the time period it was in.
Yeah. Like have you ever
Um,
heard of anybody go through that?
Recently.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone through that. I don't claim to be a psychic medium or anything or clairvoyant, but I've had that happen. But I feel like it's more my imagination. Like, oh, how would this look back then? And like, I kind of just like sit there and I picture it in my head, and I kind of like, I don't know, like I don't want to say that I have psychic abilities. I just kind of picture it in my head and
Yeah.
kind of try to see it. You know what I mean?
Yo, yeah. I see. Honestly, it was one of my ex-girlfriends and she experienced it when I was with her. And I remember her just like we were talking, and all of a sudden she stopped, and I literally thought she was having a seizure, like no joke. And then like she started busting out crying, and I'm like, "What's the matter?" And she told me everything was going on, and she said that she saw like this lady standing in the doorway. And again, this is like 2 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to hear this. And and it was just so weird because like of how fast the conversation went from talking about like grocery shopping or something to there's a woman right next to the door. That like completely changed the whole atmosphere immediately.
Yeah.
Now, when I say something like that, have you guys ever heard ever experienced like somebody hyping up the place that you're going to investigate to get you to that point of fear?
For me personally, I would say, yeah, people have hyped up places for us. But I don't let that scare me necessarily.
I don't think they're doing it to scare us either, but more to be like, you gotta go. It's so awesome.
but it has scared like Carly.
It
you
has
know?
scared
It has
Carly.
scared like Grace,
Yeah.
Angie even. Like it scared
Yeah.
some of our investigators. For me personally, like I go in with like I want to have my own experience,
I'm the same way.
So
Now, are you guys guaranteed to find some stuff at sometimes, or are you guys have you guys basically spent the night and just haven't caught anything?
we've had nights where we don't get anything. And
How does that make you guys feel when it gets like that?
it's fine. I mean, it sucks because we paid
It's
to be there.
sad and
It
stuff.
sucks, but ultimately, like we
It's
still
the
post the episode.
Yeah, and it's
We
the
still post the
adventure.
video. Yeah,
Mhm.
like and I think like by posting the episode still it proves credibility to us a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we're not going into a place and getting stuff every time, which I'm okay with. It does suck because like we always want an experience. Like we went to the Conjuring house. So we drove all the way from Illinois to Rhode Island
Oh wow.
to go to the house that inspired the Conjuring movie, right? And we got little to nothing.
What do you mean when it came to investigating it?
Yeah, like we got like little to no evidence at all.
And they were claiming like during the day they had a daytime tour, everybody was getting stuff. It was crazy active. And we
Yeah.
were like, all right, cool. That'll hopefully it carries on into the night. And it did.
Yeah,
not.
no, it was
Oh
dead.
no.
We drove 15 hours to be there.
Oh no.
And it was just dead.
It was quiet.
Yeah, it was quiet.
Now, was that before you guys went to the other locations? Was that your biggest adventure?
That was I would say that to this day is still like our longest drive we've ever taken somewhere. We also made a massive trip out of it because we ended up going to Salem, Massachusetts after that.
Yes.
It was a good time.
And then we took the long route back to like stop at some other places and stuff. So I wouldn't say it's a wasted trip because we had a good
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Like, Salem was probably the highlight of the trip, even though
We had a blast.
like even though we went to the Conjuring house, like Salem was definitely I think the highlight of the trip.
Sweet. That's
So,
awesome. Now,
yeah.
have you when you experienced that, what kept you going after that? Like, man, I literally just did a really known haunted house with haunted objects in it, and it wasn't necessarily a bus, but it wasn't anything. But what kept you going? You were just ready for the next adventure, or are you just trying to see what's out there?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't obviously one place doesn't determine like that there's nothing out there in terms of ghosts, At that point, I had been doing it, I think when did we do the Conjuring House? Last year?
Like a year and a half ago. Not even.
Yeah. So like at that point I was like 9 years in. So it was just last year. So it's like I'm already invested in this. I'm already like so deep. I already know there's something there. I'm not going to give up because one place was a dud. I mean, it happens,
It does.
It's also cool to say that we've been to the Conjuring house.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
pretty
not
cool.
a lot of people say that they seen it. They seen what was it, Annabelle?
Yeah, the real Annabelle's not in that house, but
I
Really?
wish it was.
yeah.
Where is it
So-
at?
It's at the Warren Occult Museum.
Mm.
So
Where's that located at?
that's in Connecticut.
Is it okay? Mm.
Yeah.
Now, what is one place that you are dying to get to?
Um, international wise, Poveglia Island.
Ooh.
More local wise, that's tough for me. Probably either Trans Allegheny Lunatic Asylum or I don't know, maybe even Alcatraz, but I know they don't offer that kind of stuff. So
Winchester Mystery House.
that's a good one.
I want to go there. Let's go to the catacombs
In Paris.
in Paris. That's I know that won't work
Have
because
you, have you guys seen As Above, So Below?
Yes, that is one of my favorite movies.
Oh yeah, that's a fun one. That one gets me going. I'm like, holy shit! There's just so much that happens. My kid woke up one night and at the time he was 7, and I stayed up late, just got off work, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna watch this movie. It just came out, and he sat there through the whole thing. There's a lot of I thought he fell asleep because he came out and slept on my lap. And no, his eyes wide open the whole entire time. And his mom was really upset with me because I introduced him to hell.
I was gonna say that whole movie is a trip and a half. So.
Oh goodness, yeah, that's a fun one. Now, do you believe in people when they find the what do they call like portals or gates or something that along the lines of like different realities or the paradox?
So we do go to places where like they'll tell us, oh yeah, there was a portal over here. People say there's a portal over here, you know. We both do usually a little bit of investigating by it. But I don't know.
There's not really an increase in activity from when we've done that.
I don't really believe in portals, I guess. I mean, I don't believe in Ouija boards, so
yeah,
you know, they're supposed to be portals. So
that's portals to what? So if you could rate the mystery team of Scooby-Doo, what's your number? 100%.
On a scale of what to what?
1 to 100.
Oh geez. Like just like their investigation skills and whatnot?
Yes.
Okay, let's talk this over. They debunk.
They do debunk. They fight crime somehow.
They somehow fight crime. They
and
include everybody, I guess. They got all sorts. They got Shaggy. They got Velma, which is
they are a little clumsy though.
They are
a little
so clumsy. But do you think it would work in today's world as the mystery team?
I think they'd be viral.
Oh yeah.
I think they would just be viral in the iconic aspect.
I think I would give them an 85 out of 100.
There you go.
Really?
Heck
85.
yeah.
I think that's a solid number.
I was gonna say like a 70.
I'd give them an 85.
All right.
They got a dog. What team can say they got a dog on their team?
Yeah. Dude, the dog and Shaggy, they all smoke. We all know they do. And eating Scooby snacks all day.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm giving it an 85.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I'm around 70 to 85.
Like the dog talks. Like
okay, so
that should be 100 by itself.
I was gonna say,
saying, like this should be 100 by
if
itself.
we're talking about a talking dog, that's 100 right there. That's a whole different anomaly.
They have a cryptid.
They do. They do. Yeah, I don't know. I think Scooby-Doo's the original investigation team, man. 100%.
I agree.
They started it all. I mean, I know Ghostbusters did and stuff, but they were like capturing and kind of like doing
Scooby-Doo came before Ghostbusters. They came in the 60s.
Yes. That's
they were
wonderful.
around since the 60s.
So what is when it's this time of year, September, what are you guys doing other than haunted houses?
So this is like really bad crunch time for me because like we do like full time at the haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
I used to act. This year I'm going to be a production tech, so I'm going to be doing all the build stuff and like fixing things and like turning the entire show on.
Sweet.
And off. So like I'm going to be there every night, probably one of the last people to leave. And it's going to be rough, but we're going to get through it. And you know, it's just like just a busy time at this moment because it's like I'm editing all the videos that are supposed to come out in October. Actually one that's supposed to come out this month as well, I'm editing. So it's like everything is just got to get it done. At the same time, I have a full-time job and I'm a full-time college student. So it's like I'm getting very little sleep right now.
Shoo-wee.
So yeah.
Heck
And it's
yeah.
the nice weather. People want to do stuff and
Yep.
like
Yeah, over here in Ohio, last week we had 2 days that were straight fall weather, and like the high was like 69, low was like 53, and I'm like, just that little bit of cold just got me going. I'm like, yeah, buddy, I'm excited. Heck yeah, it's here.
fall season.
Now, do you act?
Yes,
Sweet.
I do act.
What's your character?
Where's they call me string cheese. Pull the one from Facebook.
That's awesome.
So obviously we're at the Joliet prison. I've had this character since before the prison because I've been acting since 2014.
Okay, same. No, 2007. I'm so sorry. I've been doing it for a long time.
Hell yeah, that's awesome. That's what's up. But yeah, so the character kind of I was gonna say cover that. Does that work? That doesn't.
Yeah. Oh God.
If you see my Facebook, it's my profile picture.
Okay. The G's. That's
Yeah,
wild.
I'm a menace to society.
Yeah, same.
I'm icky, and I convinced this girl. She was wearing socks and sandals, so I was already giving her the hardest time for that. And I somehow convinced her to give me her sock, and I shoved that right in my mouth. I took a stranger's sock and just.
I've done things like that before, and I don't know what it is, but like once I get really deep into my character, I'm like,
I don't care.
I literally bulldozed kitty litter covered with throw up last year. I don't know what was going on. I lost my I literally lost my marbles. I'm a roamer at Land of Illusion, and I've been there 9 years. And I finally had the opportunity to room, and I went up to the makeup room because I'm also a makeup artist, and my fiance was like, "Hey, drink this real quick." So I was like, "Oh, okay." Took a huge drink. Well, it ended up being tequila, and I'm like, "Fuck, man! All right, let's have fun. Let's just enjoy the night." And yeah, I lost my shit for a long time, and it was probably one of the best nights I've ever had. Because I had a lot of people come up to me and like, "Hey man, let's get a picture." And I carry around this knife, and I'm trying to gut them, but they just don't want nothing to do with me. So that's my character.
Oh, that's cool.
Let me get there. We go.
Icky
I like that.
in the best way
Yeah, that's
possible.
cool.
Icky.
Yeah, he's very awkward. He's a stalker. I love stalking people. It's probably the best thing. Sounds terrible to say when I'm normal. That sounded really bad.
No, you're all good. I get it.
I
mean,
promise
she's
you, I'm not a
normal.
stalker.
She's normal right now and talking about eating people's socks. So
Yeah. But yeah, that was I just enjoy haunting. Now, have you guys ever had any experiences at your guys' haunted house?
yes. So we can't 100% talk about it.
I'm gonna
So
let you.
we work at the old Joliet prison. It's
Okay.
in the old Joliet prison.
Oh my.
So it's in an old, almost 200-year-old prison. Or is it 200 years old? No, it's almost 200 years old.
Yeah.
It's almost a 200-year-old prison. Some of the worst have been there. In that specific side that we're on, because there's two sides of the prison, it was originally used as a women's section.
Okay.
And then it was, once they were moved out, it was then used as like drug and alcohol addiction prisoners and mental patients, so like criminally insane on that side. And that's where the haunted house is. So that's where we are. And I have personally experienced stuff while acting inside of the building. And we did get to do an investigation with our general manager, or not general manager, but assistant general manager.
Yeah.
He let us in early one day to do an investigation in there, and like, he is not a believer in ghosts.
Right.
And within the 2 hours that he allowed us to investigate in there, we turned him into a believer.
All right.
During an Estes session.
Yeah, during an Estes session. Like,
That's
He
pretty
had the
cool.
headphones on. I explained, like, all right, he can't hear us. Like, I tried to like call Zach's name. He wouldn't answer. So I'm like, all right, so you see, this is this. And I told him, start asking questions. They know you here. You're here every day. Like, they know you. Start talking. He started asking questions back to back, question, answer, question, answer. And I'm like, see, they know you. His face just started going.
like his, like I like, cause I usually like close my eyes and like face my head down while we're doing that when I have the headphones on. I looked up just for a quick second just to see, and his jaw was just dropped. And I was just like, I don't know what's happening, but let's go. Like,
It was like he went through the process of like, okay, this is weird. What the fuck? What is happening? Oh my god, it's like they're talking to me. This is awesome. Like it went from like what to like this is great. Like this is crazy. This is happening.
Oh wow.
Like
so yeah, it's haunted.
she haunted.
I can't go into further details about what else we've done there, but what we've done there is really cool, and I'm really excited to further explain that when I can.
Yes.
So
Oh, the anticipation's real.
yes,
Oh
yes.
shit. So is this like future stuff that we're gonna see?
Potentially.
Okay, I want to keep it right
yes.
there. That's all I want to ask.
Okay.
What is it? I'm checking.
Man,
Tell me
that's
the fucking
That's literally
thing.
me in a nutshell. I won't ask any other questions. What?
All right, that's pretty cool. So with upcoming further investigations, do you guys prefer during fall time, summertime? I know summer and springtime is probably the best time, and fall. But what about winter?
Oh god.
So we actually do an investigation once or twice a month.
Wow.
So we're doing this all year long. The only month we don't do stuff in is October, surprisingly.
What?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh man,
And-
that's so
and that's
beautiful.
Busy being spooky.
Yeah,
I
that's the
know.
only reason is the haunted house. If I ever got out of the haunted house industry, I would probably sacrifice my like January or February
Yeah.
to have that one off month. And I would use October to be a part of when we were doing investigations.
That's
But as for the winter months, we're usually trying to find places that have heat.
yeah.
And there's some places that do. So it's like sometimes we're able to find those, sometimes we're not. But I used to do stuff. There was one place we did no heat, no public, not public, but no restrooms at all. And it was the beginning of March.
It was bad.
It was bad. It was
Yeah.
really bad. And I was like, after that point, I was like, never again. We are finding places with heat for these winter months because I can't do that.
Well, your hands start locking up when they get really cold, so you
Yeah.
can't even like mess with the equipment or like turn on a spirit box without your thumb feeling like it's gonna break off.
Like
Yeah,
how
it's
you
pretty
gonna get
bad.
chill bumps when you're already chilled?
Yeah,
right.
No, when I don't know. I think I would go out there, pitch a tent, start a fire, and go. But that's just me. Like when it comes to like being outdoors, I want to go for it. But I think also it'd be a lot more scarier if you do see something like in a blizzard in the middle of the night with a group of guys, and you see Krampus or something like shit like that. Like I would lose my mind because once you're in that blizzard, you don't know where you're going. Like you're already trapped.
Mhm.
Just
Right.
stay there. So I wouldn't mind to experience that at least one time. I really want to try to go into like a really giant forest, pitch a tent, and just no electronics. Only thing we have is video cameras, no phones, nothing, and just go.
Just vibe it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. Because I think when you go deep more into the forest, you start getting into the stuff that doesn't experience what we experience. This is their life. Whatever's going on in there. Have you guys ever watched Ghost Theory?
I've heard of it.
They're wild.
Yeah, people tell me I should watch them. But I haven't had the chance to.
They honestly remind me of what you guys are doing a little bit. They're really cool. They're funny as hell. but they go like deep into these woods and they find these like old mansions that's been sitting there for a long time, and they just go in with like really nice camera tree, I think that's how you say it, or just videography and stuff, drones, and everything looks so cinematic, and it's so cool on how they do it. It's raw and it's pretty cool. And like the Paranormal Files, you guys watched him before?
Yeah, I've talked to Colin before.
That's cool.
I haven't talked to him in a while. Actually, last time I talked to him was before he like blew up on TikTok. So like, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think guys definitely check out the Ghost Theory. We've been trying to get a hold of them for the past like 2 or 3 months, and we keep trying. Eventually, we'll get them on there because we don't stop.
Hey, there's a lot of great, even like smaller creators out there. You guys want some suggestions? I could suggest you some of my favorites. And
Yeah,
some of
that'd
my
be
friends.
awesome.
Because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of good people out there.
Yeah, and
That aren't just doing it for views. They actually care about the research and what they're doing. So
yeah, and that's basically what like we're just trying to get. We're trying to get everybody's story out there, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get their story out. It's like I want to hear it. I want to hear your guys' experience. I want to see if you can literally convince me that I'm 100% believer about this stuff. But the more I talk to different styles of paranormal investigators, and so far it's like you guys do basically somewhat the same thing, but you guys are unique about it. Everybody has their unique professional ability to go out there and investigate. And so far, I'm digging it. I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is really neat. If you guys could give any pointers to us to start in an investigation group, what is our first step that we should do?
That is tough.
I know that's a tough one. I'm sorry.
Here, I got one.
Go ahead.
If you're getting a team, get a team you are comfortable with, that you can rely on, that you can trust. Because the hardest part, like, this is why I personally don't like public investigations where like you buy a ticket and like there's other people you don't know. You need to be able to hold everybody accountable. Like, oh, did you just make that noise? Yeah, I did just make that noise. That was me. Like, you have to be able to trust your people to be able to properly debunk. And like, oh, like there's been instances where someone's heard something, but nobody else has, but we still hold their opinion and them saying, oh, I heard that, credible, because we're not like, oh, you're crazy. You're hearing stuff. You're just trying to like freak out. You're trying to make it for views. Like, you have to hold people.
So that's 100% like one of the best things is like getting people on board that are you could trust
on the same page
and have good like teamwork ability. And honestly, the best way to find out if you click well with a team or if you have good teamwork is just do an escape room with them.
For real.
Like that's the best way. Like our team just did one a couple weekends ago, and we crushed it, man.
We did.
Like the teamwork is so good in our team.
We screamed at each other a lot,
but
we functioned so well by screaming at each other sometimes.
Well, that's the best thing. It's all about communication and teamwork.
Yep.
That is literally what will destroy anything. If you get one person that's a bad apple, that's it.
It ruins the night. It ruins the vibe.
Yep.
Like you spend hours with these people. You spend hours, like sometimes days.
If you drive with them too,
right.
Like spending the night in the hotel with them or like at the location, you have to trust them, to sleep next to them, like, so like team wise, non-paranormal investigating wise, I would say that is like one of the biggest things.
I agree.
Yep. We've had on my other podcast I used to run, we had a few people that we had all great guys. Oh, we were kicking ass, doing everything we can for it. And then all of a sudden we had that one person just starting like drama. And I'm one of those guys, I'll call you out immediately. And it's like, we squash this now or you move on. I'm trying to run a business. trying to run a podcast, and it's just that one person wants to start going, and I threw it all on the table, and they just wanted to not say anything, and I'm like, cool, dude. I said, I'm gonna respectfully just remove you if you're gonna continue with like the drama. He didn't like that, obviously, but it is what it is on that part. You have to do what you got to do to keep a team
Exactly.
strong.
Yep.
Got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah. Well, cool. So you guys been actively as Bloodmoon Paranormal, correct?
Correct.
For what is that? It's, 8 years now.
It'll be 8 years actually on the 10th.
And in 5 years, I know this is a long gap. Where do you guys see yourself with this?
Well, hopefully we finally get our big break, if you want to call it, and finally get out of the zone of being underrated, because that's what we're known as right now, is one of the most underrated paranormal channels out there. Because again, I've had a lot of friends that just pass me, and I just like go you guys, like I'm always supportive with it and everything, and it's just like, I've been doing it for 10 years, and it's like I'm waiting for that one video to go off and like rocket us up, and
It's the anticipation.
so I don't know what it's gonna be like in the next 5 years. Hopefully that happens. If not, it doesn't, but we're still gonna be here making
I was
content.
gonna say, as long
Yeah.
as we're still here investigating as a team, that's all that I care about.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're still gonna be here.
Well, I
So.
see you guys going somewhere with this. You guys got, so far what I've experienced tonight, talking with you guys. You guys got great vibes, great energy.
Appreciate that.
You're
Thank
welcome. With everything that you guys are doing, there is a huge future with you guys doing this, because not a lot of people basically are passionate about it. They like it and it's their hobby, but you guys seem like you're passionate about it. And that's what dreams are made of, is just passionate and just positivity and teamwork. And you guys got it 100%.
Thank you.
Rooting
Thank
for
you,
you guys
seriously.
on that. You're welcome. Andrew, you have any questions before we go?
I've been waiting, dude.
Dude, you could have talked. You've been quiet the whole time.
You'd pause, would be all right. Teamwork, communication.
Teamwork.
Okay,
Yeah.
a couple questions. What is the most active investigation you've had? Where was the most active?
Okay, so for me, the most active place, just based on a couple of overnights we've done there, I would say it's probably the old Joliet prison, which is where we work. So yeah.
Yeah. Between the Joliet prison and Indiana State Sanatorium.
Is that the one that is shaped like an upside down cross? The one in Indiana?
No. You're thinking, I can't remember the name of the house, but they don't do investigations anymore. So
Yeah, Indiana State is on like 200 acres of land, and there's like
Yeah.
5, 6 buildings.
yeah, there's a couple of buildings you have access to. It's massive.
She's big.
Man.
So you said you guys have seen the Paranormal Files. You've talked to Colin Brown yourself.
Mhm.
Did you see his Conjuring House episode?
I did not know.
Okay, so in the Conjuring House episode, he was in one of the rooms and he had blacked out, and he said it was a evil spirit that did it, and you guys got nothing.
We got a little bit, but we didn't get really much at all. It was maybe a couple knocks, couple responses, and that's about it.
Maybe an EMF hit here.
Yeah,
there.
it was not nearly as active as what people had told us it was.
Right.
I'm not doubting that he did black out. I'm like, we just didn't experience much, and it happens. Places get quiet, stuff doesn't happen sometimes, and just the reality of it. So it could be active. I mean, we could go back. I don't know if I would spend the money to go back because that place is pretty expensive now. I don't know if I would spend that money to drive 15 hours and chance getting nothing again. So I just,
Right.
yeah.
Have you guys done an investigation in Ohio?
In Ohio? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Was it 2022 or is it 2021 that we did like
The Ohio bender we did?
Yeah.
We did an Ohio bender for some reason.
Yeah, it was like
21.
I think it was 2021. We did like most of our investigations. Actually, I would say maybe about 70 to 80% of our investigations we did in 2021 was in Ohio.
For no reason. And then we did haunted house bender in Ohio.
Yeah,
We did a lot in Ohio that year.
2021 was the year we quit from the other haunt we were working at. So we actually were like, we're gonna guest act at a bunch of places. So we went to Ohio and we guest acted at Blood Prison.
Yeah, I did an interview with them. They're great people.
Yeah,
They're so good.
they were awesome. We went through the haunted house before we did it. Haunted house was phenomenal. And then we went to you ever hear of Chippewa Lake Slaughterhouse?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. I ain't gonna lie. That is probably the best haunted house I've ever walked through.
That
Okay.
haunted house made me scared.
Like it was terrifying.
I almost had an anxiety attack in one of the scenes because they just did it so well and they utilized everything so well. I walked in and I started like freezing up. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, we
But-
just updated a haunted house at our haunt, and I walked through it. I went through it today because I had to set up my makeup station. I was like, whoa. It's we're $1 million haunt, so like our owner just has buku money, stupid amount of money, and I love it. But he reamped one of our haunts and spent all the budget on one haunt. We have 6 or 7 of them. We
Damn.
walked through, and I was just like, dude, we have a full padded. We just got a full real padded room. And it's
I love padded rooms.
And it's so eerie because of how realistic it is. And it's like, oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
I love padded.
That's awesome. So I'm gonna go back to Andrew's question.
Okay, I'm
'cause-
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I just wanna answer some of that real quick. So we've done Fairfield County Infirmary, Middle Point Elementary, Williams County Jail, Westwood High School, Madison Seminary, the Auglaize Village. We actually did investigate the Ohio State Reformatory,
That was fun.
and I think there may have been a couple others that I'm missing as I'm scrolling through that, but those are some of the ones that we did in Ohio. So
What do you guys
Yeah,
think
we did.
about the reformatory?
we actually got a pretty decent amount of stuff
Mhm.
there.
I
So,
wish we had more time there,
yeah.
but it's just the size of it. That's why I wish we had more time.
Yeah, we live
Especially
about
for the price.
Yeah, we live about 2.5 hours away from it, and I took my kids up there during the daytime, and I also went there to go see Incarceration, the festival up there.
hmm
I recommend it 100%. I don't remember it, but I had a blast.
That's what matters.
That's all that matters. But the actual prison itself is remarkable, especially the
beautiful.
background with all the movies.
Yeah.
The movie, and then the actual history behind it. It's insane, and it's so big.
Yeah.
It's
Ugh.
mind-boggling, honestly. Fun fact, the first time we went to Ohio State Reformatory, we have never seen Shawshank. So the first time we go, we're like, oh, this is beautiful, this is crazy. And then you know where it says Brooks was here?
Yep.
It's there, obviously, you've seen it probably. And we were like, oh, that's so cool, like, oh my god, and then we come back home, we watch Shawshank. The scene comes, and we were like, oh. That's why everybody was looking
Yeah.
at us so weird, because
Yeah,
there's
'cause
people around us. And we're like, oh my god, that's so cool, freaking
We're
out. Like,
oh, that's from the movie. We're from the movie. And then like everyone's looking at us like,
what
what
the
the
fuck?
fuck wrong with you? I felt like looking back on it, it's like going to the Titanic Museum and being like, oh, this was like from the movie. And then you watch the movie and you're like,
oh.
Oh no,
Yeah, we watched that
Brooks
scene
was here.
and my jaw was
Yeah.
like,
I was like, oh no, like
That's such a
that's
sad part.
That's a problem.
That's why everybody was looking at us weird, is because we hyped that thing up so much for
Oh,
something
heck
that
yeah.
should not have been hyped like that.
But like the investigation we did it like
Good.
I think maybe a couple months later, or maybe a year later. I can't really remember 100% top of my
Couple
mind.
months.
But we did it. It was a collab. So like we collab with a couple of other teams. We set it up, and we all split up the payment for it. So it wasn't too bad. I mean, I think we had maybe like 12 people there. Honestly,
Yeah, a whole lot of,
we were able to split up, and we never ran into each other. So
unless we designated it.
yeah, unless we walk in and we're like, hey, like let's meet up and investigate together for a little bit. And like the night went so smooth, and like I was so nervous about it because like I had different teams that were coming, and I'm like, this might be a shit
was a lot.
show.
Yeah.
But like everything went so smooth, and like again, never ran into each other. So it was great.
Didn't hear each other, didn't run into
Yeah.
them.
I know it's like, was it like for 15 people, $100, like a person or something stupid? Because I saw that
Yeah.
for the private investigation, it was like $1,500.
Right.
But
So if you have 15 people, it's 100 per person.
That's
It's
not
not
bad.
bad.
That's
No.
not bad at all. That's only $100.
Yeah.
We need 15 people. Andrew, what was that one county jail in Ohio that you were talking with the Ghost Sisters with?
Old Licking County Jail.
Oh yeah,
Lucky.
that's on my bucket list.
Why though?
Why?
Yeah, like why? Like I just want to know like why? Like
Not a
why?
genuine-
I heard it's one of the more active jails out there. It's been on a lot of TV shows. I've seen it all over the place. The aesthetic looks absolutely beautiful. History is interesting, and I just heard the activity is good. I don't know.
Okay.
Got a couple of reasons there. So
It's just a haunted location I'd like to visit.
Yes.
I'm that
and
person. I want to hit every single one. I don't care.
what was it? Bobby Mackey's?
yeah, I
want to go just to say I've gone.
yeah, I want to go just to say. Well, I guess I've been on the outside, but I
Meet Bobby Mackey.
yeah, I don't know. I
wanna
feel like
meet him.
Ghost Adventures is overhyped, that place, in my opinion. Plus, I feel like
It's their first episode, of
Yeah.
course.
and
Of
their
course.
prices for their time frame for how small that place is. I just don't think it's worth it.
Doesn't
That's
Um,
understandable.
show.
Yeah.
Cool.
Plus, I don't believe in demons, so like
Yep.
I just want to
It'd
meet
be
Bobby
cool to
Mackey.
go for the nostalgia feel, but it
Yeah.
would also be a waste of time because of what's in Bobby Mackey's.
yeah.
Mm.
No hate to them though. No
Oh,
hate to them.
absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know.
I just want to meet the man. He can sing.
He can sing.
He can
He
sing.
can sing.
Now, would you guys ever go in the hills of Kentucky and come across a cemetery and investigate it? I did that last weekend. It was crazy.
We did something like that in Tennessee. There was a random cemetery in the woods.
Our friends just took us there. She's
Yeah.
like, there's a cemetery just all the way back in the hiking trail. We're like, all right, let's go, I guess.
Yeah, so we've done that.
It was cool.
Yeah,
It was
I did like my first like investigation for the most part because I was down in Somerset, Kentucky for a bachelor party, and my cousin was like let's go for a walk. So we walked up the mountain, and it was in the middle of the night, probably 11 o'clock at night. We were just walking. I had my camera and stuff. And the trip there was great. And then we came across like it looked like a shrine in a way, but a very organized shrine. And I was like, okay, of trees and like garden gnomes, and there were like angels. It was like, but there was only 2 graves on top of this mountain. Weird as hell. I was like, okay, but they looked new, but they died. One died in like 2007, and one died in like 2005. So they've been gone for quite some time. And I was like, I looked at my cousin. I'm like, I don't even know what to do right now. He said, let's just start talking, dude. So we went. I grabbed my camera. We started heading towards the tombstones. A lot. I don't know if anything happened. I think it was just a fact of, shit, dude. We came up to a cemetery. Let's go see what it is. So the fear started kicking in, and the paranoia. I don't know if I seen anything. I know I like seen stuff from like my peripherals and stuff, but a lot of people think that when you go into a cemetery, it's always active. Do you guys believe that?
No. We did a series for a while called The Graveyard Shift, and we would spend like we would go to different cemeteries around the area, or like we would do it while we go on an investigation, cemeteries that are related to the haunting we're investigating. And we would spend like hour or 2 hours in the cemetery investigating it for this little series we were doing. And I mean, there were some times when we get nothing at all. And it'd be like a pretty big cemetery where like a lot of graves, but we would get nothing. So
Yeah, I was
There's been times where we get like the over here, come over here. Oh, like stop here. Like
yeah.
it's weird.
What do you guys think? You guys probably seen it before of this application.
Not my thing.
Thank you. I wasted $4.
I will say I will say I know the developer of the app, and he's a very smart guy. I like talking with him. He's awesome. I'm personally not an app person. You know, he like I said, he's awesome, and I've seen Spirit Talker work. My problem is still like it's a phone. It could easily be listening to your conversation. I've seen it to where it actually repeats the exact same words that you're saying
Yeah.
in that moment, and I'm just like,
Or an instant response. Like we had an Ovilus right next to it. Nothing.
What's an
Yeah.
Ovilus?
It kind of does the same thing that Spirit Talker does, but it actually takes from environmental reading, so it's an actual like device, like a physical.
It's the real thing.
It's like
It's essentially what Spirit Talker is supposed to
like this
replicate.
big.
Holy
That big.
crap. So I'm sorry to say this. I have my headphones in, and I was just, you guys were talking and I heard thumping. What's that noise? And then I took my earphones off and it was like running behind me. And then like I got scared for a second, and then all of a sudden it was my kid. Oh my God. Holy crap. Holy crap. He was like running because he's like completely afraid of the dark.
Turns off the
Yeah.
lights, runs up the stairs. I'm the same way.
Oh my God, that scared the hell out of me. He always, and it's every time I'm on a podcast, I'll be talking, and then all of a sudden I hear running, and I'm like, oh. I had to put a sheet up behind me because sometimes I'll be looking at the camera and I look at myself and I see somebody walk by and I'm like, oh God, and I look and it's my kid. Now, have you had an investigation where you're deep into getting all this footage as you can, and then you think you've seen something, but it end up being like a dog or a cat or a rabbit or something?
Yeah, it happens. I've come across stuff like that. Like we'll be like recording. I'm not an orb person personally. There's some things that I've seen like on the cameras that come across that like I'm like, all right, that looks a little weird. I don't really know what that is, but it could still be some sort of dust. But like while we're investigating, sometimes over the camera they'll be like, just so you know, like check back at this because I think I saw something weird. And like I'll watch it back a couple times, and sometimes it's dust, sometimes it's just a bug. You know, when we're filming, it's just a little LED screen or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of hard to tell. But then I have this big monitor that I'm watching everything on, so I could see everything much better. So it's happened quite often. But
Not while we're investigating though. We don't really take we don't like stop all
yeah, we won't stop to like review it.
Do you
We
guys
just keep
use like
going.
temperature gauges or like thermal cameras and stuff?
Occasionally I'll use a thermal camera. I don't do it too often. I should probably do it more. Because I think it could be something really cool if we actually catch something with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's not something I use too often. Like temperature wise, like meter wise. Used to use a temperature meter. I don't use one anymore, but our spirit boxes actually have one built into them now.
Oh, that's cool.
So we're
Starts
just
yelling.
yeah, it starts yelling at you if it starts going down or something like that. So I just kind of keep an eye on it.
So if I wanted to go out and buy a few of these devices, where would I go?
Honestly, some of them you can find on Amazon. I don't recommend going on Amazon just because the quality might be cheaper. But typically you can find a lot of the stuff on ghoststop.com.
Yeah, I just started following them, and they have a lot of cool stuff. A little pricey, but it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple of things I would be careful on their site. I've had some bad experiences with some of their like personal made devices, like they're like in-store stuff, if that makes sense. But like you could buy a K2 on there, you could buy an SB7 on there, and it's from a different company that just lets them sell their product on there.
Oh,
So,
okay, I get you.
yeah.
I'm a personal fan of the SB7 and not the what is
The
it called?
S box.
The S box.
Ghost Stop has a version of the Spirit box called the S box.
Uh-huh.
I'm not a fan of that one personally. I like the SB7.
Same thing with like they have it's called a Rook. It's the same thing as an EMF, but it just looks different.
It's like a K2, but it's more stylistic, I guess.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I still prefer the old style
Mhm.
versus.
Do you guys
theirs.
believe in like the little cat light up balls?
Cat
The
balls?
cat balls?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was super skeptical about them at first, but then our investigator Carly, she brought them, and I'm just like, oh boy, here we go. But I'm like, we'll see what happens, you know. And actually OSR is the first time we used them, and it was weird. It was just weird.
We said light this up
they're-
if you want us to sit down, and it would smack.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
boy.
it was. We've had some weird stuff with those. Sometimes they're a little fidgety, and sometimes they malfunction a little bit, but we kind of keep an eye on that. She actually labels all of hers.
Are they? They're pretty made cheaply, aren't they?
It's $16.99 for a pack of 6 of them on Amazon. I buy them a lot because Carly likes losing hers. The ghost like stealing Carly's cat balls, or we like to punt them across the room and they get lost.
Now, do you guys do like walkie talkies and stuff?
Sometimes, depending on the location.
Cool.
We try to limit it because it does set some equipment off. So
Oh, okay. Now, when you guys have you guys went on a full investigation on with all your team?
yes, once and almost a second time. But there was 2 people. Was it 2 people or 1 person? 2 people weren't available. No, Jarrett and Scott weren't available.
Jarrett and Scott. There you
Yeah.
go.
It was our first investigation, like our first overnight investigation at the old Joliet prison. I was like, look, this is like mandatory. I need everyone on deck for this one.
Well, it's hometown for
Yeah,
the
it's
team.
hometown. So like we live like 15 minutes down the road from it. So it's like everyone better be going to this, you know. So yeah, the whole team was on it.
And 2 extras.
And 2 extras.
Oh,
we
perfect.
did a giveaway for people to come with, and 2 people won. So had them come with us, and
It was a good time.
yeah, it was a good time. We got a lot of good stuff. We were able to split up to where it was like, I think it was 3 or 4 people per group. So it was not bad.
Now, and you guys said you guys stayed all night doing that one?
No, it wasn't the entire night.
Oh, okay.
Their full time frame that they give
Yeah,
us.
which isn't much, but
Good enough though,
yeah,
for the most
it's
part.
enough.
When it comes to looking back at the footage, how do you guys go upon doing that?
That's all me. I spend hours upon hours of
How's
doing
your
it.
eyes?
He needs blue light glasses.
My eyes are fine. I'm just tired.
Yep.
Like I typically go to bed at 1 a.m. every night, and then I get up at like 7 or 8 in the morning every morning. So it's like I don't get as much sleep as I should.
It's insomnia.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would call it that. At this point, it's turning into it. Like I have like I'm getting used to it. So it's like, man. And then like I said, I have a full-time job. So I get up at 7 or 8 in the morning, depending on the day, work all day, get home, immediately start doing either college work, or I start doing editing, and I do that until 1 a.m. So
It's gonna pay off. It's gonna happen.
maybe one day.
Eventually you're gonna sit back and watch someone else do it for you.
I mean, I have a specific style that I like. So
No.
like,
Oh yeah. There's people out there that would be like, all right, I'll do everything you ask, and they'll learn your ways. And dude, that's it. That'd be crazy. I wouldn't know what to do. I think I'd lose interest of doing paranormal stuff and start let the I don't know. That'd be hard. That'd be really hard, but it'd be very enjoyable for the adventure that you guys are going on. Andrew, you have any more questions before we wrap this up, man?
No, he's tired. Almost 1.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. All right, man. Well, guys, I appreciate you guys a whole bunch for coming on the show.
of course, thank you for having us.
Yeah, you're welcome. The ride that you guys are going, you guys got this. It's in
We're
the
trying
bag.
our hardest.
We hope so.
You got this. And you don't fail, you learn. And I think that's the best part with it. And you guys got it. 100%.
Obstacles are opportunities. I
Absolutely.
look at it.
Boom.
So
The gears don't stop.
here's don't stop.
All right, guys. Well, again, appreciate you. And we'll be posting this. Honestly, probably as soon as I get off here, I'll start writing it up and then post it on all the platforms, and I'll send you the link.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Yes,
Hey, you guys
thank
have a
you.
great night. Thank you so much again.
Yeah,
You as
thank
well.
you.
All right, bye.
Good night.
We found parts of the bodies all over the house, in places you wouldn't think. The funny thing is the heads have never been found. Hands and feet and things like that. But no heads